Hello students, how are you? And again I came with a new lesson. And today we are learning about the history part. What is the meaning of the history? History means study of the past. Okay, in the history second lesson today we are learning. What is the second lesson? From trade to territory, the company established. Here the company established the power. And here, what is the meaning of the trade to territory? Trade means business. The territory means the people has been occupied in some place. And here, the company means what? The British company has been established in India. And how they has been established and how this British company has been came to India, that we have to learn in this lesson. Okay, let's move on to the topic here. Who is the last Mughal king? The powerful Mughal king, Aurangzeb. Yes, and he is the last powerful king. And up to there you learned in the 7th class. And he has been established there. Total the India party has been established. Aurangzeb has been ruled total the most of the party in India. And here he is one of the powerful king, Aurangzeb. And Aurangzeb has been died on the 1707. He has been died. This Aurangzeb. When he has been died, this Aurangzeb, who are the subordinates, and they become as any governors, we call it as, and another name we call it as any Subedars. And this Mughal Empress Subedars, whenever this Aurangzeb has been died, and wherever these Subedars will be there, they has been established their power, and in the regional kingdoms they has been established. So as a powerful regional kingdom emerged in various parts of India, and before only the Mughal kings only ruled. Whenever the power has been, this Aurangzeb has been died, these who has been worked as an Subedars, they are called as Mughal governors. So they has been occupied and they has been established their kingdom. Before, Delhi was a very effective center will be there. Now Delhi could be no longer function is an effective center. Why? Because here the powerful king is not there. Second half of the 18th century, a new power was emerging in the political origin. What is this new power? Did you know? The British originally came a small trading company in India, and they has been reluctant acquired territories. They has been started. How did they come to be master of a vast empire? Okay, let's learn how they come. Learn how they come. East India Company comes east. In 1600, the East India Company acquired charter from the ruler of England. And this East India Company, the main important person is Queen Elizabeth. One, granting a sole right to trade with the East. And this means that no other trading group in England could compete with the East India Company. With this charter, the company could venture across the oceans and no other ships they not be allowed. Only this East India Company ships only have to come in this across the oceans. So they looking for the new lands for which it could buy goods at a cheap price and carry them back to Europe and sell at a higher price. Here, the company did not have to fear competition from other English trading companies also. And other English company trading means here some of the companies, European companies also has been came to India. And whatever they has been purchasing the goods in the Europe, they will be one of the center place. It is the place name is mercantile. This mercantile means it is a trading company. In those days, they get more profit primarily by excluding the competition will be going on. Okay, mercantile means a business enterprise. This first English ship sailed down on the west coast of Africa around the Cape of Good Hope and crossed the Indian Ocean. And here one of the person has been came, the Portuguese, Vasco da Gama. He has been entered into the India near the Calicut. It is near to the Kerala. He has been entered into the Calicut. He take the permission of the king and he started the this trading. And first the Portuguese has been came to India in 1498. The Portuguese has been came to India, and last the Portuguese also has been went. Okay, and coming to this one, by the early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring the trade. The Dutch company also has been came to the Indian Ocean, and not only that one, the French trading also has been arrived on this scene. Now, how many members has been came? The East India Company, the Dutch company, Portuguese, the French, these all companies has been came to India and they has been trading with India. Okay, here the problem was that. What is the problem here? The companies interested in buying the same things of the products. What is the same thing of the products? The fine quantities of the cotton, silk, spices, all this will be produced in India, and in a big market in Europe they will be take to the Europe and they will be sell in a high rate of the cost. Okay, and here what are the items they has been taken? Pepper, cloves, cardamom, cinnamon. Two were in great demand in Europe. These are types of spices. So here the competition among the European companies could flourish the rival of these companies. Okay, and the next one is through the 17th and 18th century, there is a regular sank each other, means ships. There has been blocked the routes. Why? Because if that company will be come to our India and they will be get the more income, no? So that's why they will be blocked. So moving supplies of the goods also they will be stopped. So this trading was carried in with the arms. Arms means they started with the fighting. They will be start. Trading posts were protected through fortification. Okay, let us see how this was. Here in this Bengal, how this East India Company has been started the trade. We have to understand this lesson. The first English factory was set up. First English factory was set up on the bank of the river Hooghly in 1651. They has been set up. So this company traders known as factory operated, we call it as. Okay, and by 1696 it began building a fort around the settlements. They has been started the settlement in 1696. 2 years later, it bribed the Mughal officials into giving the company as an Jamindari rights. Over these one, the Kalikata, which later grew into a city of Calcutta. Now we call it as an Kolkata. Now we are calling this Mughal emperor here Aurangzeb. They taken the permission, that is Farman. Farman means granting the company the right to trade duty free. Okay, so here, so that's why what is the situation has happened here? They taking the permission from the Mughal emperor, so that's why they're not paying any tax and they're bringing their goods to India. So that is the main problem of the company. So they have been refused to pay the taxes. So in Bengal, enormous loss has been happened. The tax will be getting only the country or state will be developed. So, but here they not be paying any taxes. The Nawab of Bengal, Musid Quli Khan, he is, and here this Musid Quli Khan on the time he is ruling. Okay, now let's move to the how trade led the battles, and by the doing of the trading, how the battle has been started. Okay, we have to learn. Though the early 18th century, the conflict between the company and the Nawabs of Bengal intensified. Means this company, East India Company and the Bengal, there has been conflict between two of them. After the death of Aurangzeb, the Subedars means I told the governors, they has been occupied. They are called Nawabs. Assert their power in the Bengal, and they become as one of the regional power during at that time. Okay, Mushid Quli Khan was followed by the Alwadi Khan after that one, and then Sirajuddaulah. They are came from this Nawab family, and they are the Nawab of Bengal. So these are. And each one of them were very strong rulers they are. But they refused to grant the company concession demand large tributes. Why? Because they are not paying any taxes. They claimed that the company was depriving the Bengal government of huge amount revenue, was underdrawing the authority of the Nawab because it will be not getting any money. So that's when here they has been refused to pay the tax this company and writing irrespectful of the letters, trying humiliate of the Nawabs. And even though they not be listening, the company on its part declared that unjust demand of the local officials were running the trade of the company. But the trade could flourish only the duties was removed. So the conflict led to the confrontations, and finally this culminated in the famous Battle of Plassey has been happened. And here by this one, the Battle of Plassey has been happened. Why? Because here the company has been refused to pay the taxes, and they has been telling we taken the permission from the Mughal emperor. But here the Nawabs of this Bengal, they are not to be accepting. Why? Because they are getting the loss of this Bengal, even though they are not to be listening. Now how this battle has been happened? Now we have to learn. When Albrecht Khan died in 1756, and next person is Sirajuddaulah became the Nawab of Bengal. The company was worried about his power, and keen it is one of the puppet ruler they has been think. Why? Because the company is not listening the words, would willing to give trade concession to their privileges. Sirajuddaulah asked the company to stop the meddling in the political affairs and his domain, stop fortification and pay the revenue, even though they are not be listening. After the negotiation failed, the Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory at Kazim Bazar, captured the company officials, locked the warehouse, and disarmed all Englishmen and blocked the English ships also. And then this marched to the Calcutta to establish control over the company and fort there. On hearing, whenever this Sirajuddaulah kept these 30 members in the warehouse, the news has been heard to the Madras, and from the Madras, these officials sent forces under the command of the Robert Clive. Now the Robert Clive has been entered. This Robert Clive came from the Europe on his 18 years he has been came. He is one of the commander of this military. Finally, in 1757, Robert Clive led the company army against Sirajuddaulah at Plassey. One of the main reason for the defeat of this Nawab was the forces led by the Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar has given help to the Robert Clive, and one of the Sirajuddaulah, he is one of the Sirajuddaulah commander. Mir Jafar never forget the battle. Clive had managed to secure the support, promising them Nawab after crushing the Sirajuddaulah. So the Battle of Plassey became famous because it was the first major victory of the company, East India Company, and this East India Company has been occupied the Bengal, Bihar, Assam. These are the places they has been occupied by this battle. After the defeat of the Plassey, Sirajuddaulah was assassinated and Mir Jafar made the Nawab, and he is the king of the Nawab, and the company was still unwilling to take over the responsibility of the administration. Why? Because they don't know about the language. Soon the company discovered that the war rather difficult from even the puppet of the Nawabs. The king will be there, but he have the no responsibilities is not there. Whatever the company will be done, they have to follow. Now what could the company do? When Mir Jafar protested the company, deposed him and installed Mir Qasim in his place. When Mir Qasim complained, he in turn was defeated in the battle of Fort of Buxar, and another war also has been happened, that is Buxar, in 1764. Okay, and Mir Jafar was again reinstalled in this one. The Nawab have to pay 50,000 every month, and company wanted more money to finance its wars and meet the demands of the trade in other expenses also. So here this Nawab of this Bengal have to pay the money to the company. They wanted more territories and more revenue they have to want. By that time, Mir Jafar died in the 1765, and the mood of the company has been totally changed. Finally, in 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company as a Diwan of provinces of Bengal. Diwan allowed the company to use the vast revenue resources of Bengal, and he solved the major problem of that company also had earlier faced. In early 18th century, the trade with India has been expanded, but it had to buy most of the goods in India with gold and the silver imported from Britain before they will be bring. Whenever there has been the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar has been happened, they stopped these gold coins and the silver coins, and there has been whatever the revenue they are getting from this Bengal, and that money they will be utilized for their expenses. And then before they bring the gold and the silver coins, and they will be buy these goods. Okay, now revenue of India would finance company expenses. These revenue could be used for the purchases of cotton, silk, textiles in India. So this is the important of the Battle of Plassey. Okay, I hope you all are understood about this Battle of Plassey, how the company has been came to India and how they has been started the trading with India. And next one is what are the companies has been came to India. These are the topics we are discussing in this lesson. Okay, I hope you all are understood, and you have to go to the textbook.